Aren't you glad
You watching, you watching, you watching Nick. Aren't you glad? You watching, you watching, you watching Nick.
Hello, it's me, your friend from school. Welcome to the 90s, everybody. This is a different camera angle for me, and the lighting is quite different. Makes my eyes look really dark this way. How's it going, everyone? I don't think I have anybody in yet. Bonus stream, we're going to do a magazine read. We're going to look at Nintendo Power. We're on the magazine table tonight. It's going to be fun times, fun times. So this is a magazine from September 1996, the same year that same month and year that the Nintendo 64 came out. So this is their big blowout. The Nintendo 64 was released on September 29th, I believe. They actually moved the release date up a couple of days because it was going to be released at the beginning of October, and they moved it to September 29th. I distinctly remember that because Toys R Us had to update all their signs, and I would go to Toys R Us every single week because they had N64 demo units at the Toys R Us a couple weeks before the system launched. So of course I had to go try it out at the Toys R Us. I even cut school a couple of times to go play Nintendo 64. So anyway, yeah, let's check out the magazine. Now, I actually owned this magazine back as a kid. This is not the same one that I used to own, but I happened to come across this at a secondhand store, and they wanted $15 for it. They gave me a deal, though, because I bought 3 other magazines, and they gave me all 3 magazines. No, it was 4. They gave me 4 magazines for $30. So not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, so let's check it out. So what's cool about this is the back cover and the front cover. Just one big long picture of Mario throwing Bowser. Alright, so we got previews of Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, Cruisin' USA, and Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow. Maui Mallard. That's like a Disney character, right? It's like a Donald Duck. Sorta. It's like Donald Duck's cousin? I don't know. I really don't. Yeah. Plus Mario 64 launches The Fun Machine. 10-page exclusive. Plus in-depth, more screenshots, more tips, more winning strategies on Pilot Wing 64. Donkey Kong Land 2. That's a Game Boy game. Realm and more. Alright, let's check it out. So first we have some kind of ad for more magazines. It says when your coach signals bunt, you bunt. When he signals steal, you steal. When he scratches his butt, you get the idea. Why all the signals? Because you want to win. Okay, I'm not sure I get the connection there. Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 is here now. Your perspective on games is about to change into 3D. So we got full coverage of Mario 64, Pilot Wing 64, Realm, which I'm not sure what that is. Kirby Superstar Part 2, which I don't think ever came out. I don't know. I don't think that ever came out. Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest, that's the Game Boy game. Pinocchio, special features on the Nintendo 64 launch, Cruisin' USA, Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, Player's Choice for Game Boy. Previews include Donkey Kong Country 3, Prince of Persia 2, Maui Mallard, Epic Center, News, SimCity, War 3010 Revolution, Epic Strategies, Player's Pulse, Classified Information, Counselor's Corner, Arena, Now Playing, Pack Watch. What's that? Player's Poll Contest, Next Issue, Game List. Alright. Yes! Envelope art. Envelope art. So I got another camera angle here for close-ups. Yeah, so let's look through the envelope art. We got, I believe that's an enemy from Mario RPG. We got Princess Zelda here. That's a good one. What's that of? It's just a bunch of characters. This is hard. Chrono Trigger, Diddy Kong. We got Earthworm Jim, Yoshi. Let's see over here. More Chrono Trigger art. We got some more Mario RPG. I guess we know what was being played at this time. Chrono Trigger again. We got some Donkey Kong Country 2. And what's this? More Chrono Trigger. That is a lot of Chrono Trigger in this issue. Hope all is well, and I loved getting the old VHS promo videos from N64. Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox was the best! I didn't get that many of the VHS tapes. I got Star Fox for some reason. Even though I wasn't a subscriber, they somehow mailed that one to me. And I'm not sure why I got it, but I was happy to have it because it was awesome. But I know they got one. They made one for Banjo-Kazooie. They made one for Donkey Kong, but I never got any of those other ones. But yeah, Sonic, how are you doing? I'm gonna read a few of these letters. The issue beats all. I just received my latest issue of Nintendo Power, and it was awesome. I really love the Beat the Boss article. You should make this a permanent section. Beat the Boss will make a comeback, but don't expect it every month. Let's see. Ease up on the N64. I think you've spent just a little too much time on the N64. Don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled with the graphics and everything, but it hasn't been released. Also, in Volume 86, you only reviewed 3 games in Now Playing, and only got 1 seal of approval. However, I still think Players' Pulse and Classified Info are great. Keep up the good work in those departments. Some months tons of games come out, other months only a handful. As for the solo seal of approval, what good would it be if we handed one out to every game that came out? Yeah, for sure. I already own an NES, Game Boy, Super Game Boy. The only other system I want is Virtual Boy. Whoa, he wants a Virtual Boy. I kind of want one now. Back in the day, I didn't really want one that badly. Anyways, I don't want an N64. I like better graphics, but I don't want to buy a system for them. I think the Epic Center should be greatly expanded, but I would get rid of Arena. Besides reminding me of games I want but don't own, it's also a place for good gamers to brag, no offense. He doesn't want an N64. He says, I like better graphics, but I don't want to buy a system for them. It's kind of not the way it works, dude. You gotta buy a new system for better graphics. Website bummer. There's only one problem regarding your online resource. Everything good is on America Online. All the chats with Mr. Miyamoto, Ken Griffey Jr., the online games like Blood and Crozo, and all the other stuff that I never go take part in are only on America Online. Anyway, to get to the point, is there a way you could have some of your neat AOL stuff on your Nintendo website? Now that is interesting. I didn't realize that. Because sometimes on my retro streams, I'll do internet browsing. 90s internet browsing. Go to the old Nintendo website from the 90s. But as far as I know, all of that AOL stuff is gone. It's not been archived like regular websites have. As far as I know, America Online, Ken Griffey Jr., legit, the 90s in one section. Yeah, I know. This is what it's all about. But what do you think of that? All of those... Remember AOL keyword this, keyword that? That's how you'd go to AOL websites. What happened to all that stuff? Has it been backed up anywhere? Does anyone have copies? That would be amazing to go scrub through all that stuff someday. You know, relive those AOL days. Because I had AOL for a little while, you know, here and there. Somehow had access to AOL. Wow, that's something to think about. We'd love to run an interactive story or celebrity chat at Nintendo.com, but technical difficulties, example old browsers, would shut out many an internet traveler, and we sure don't want to do that. As technology improves, so will our website. Count on it. Nothing dinky here. When I finally got the chance to check out your website, I must say I was shocked. I was expecting a dinky little thing that basically just had all the articles from the magazine typed up into a computer screen, but what I got was something else. In the section about Mario RPG, which is a fantastic game, that little twirling star above the Mario logo is just the best. I wish I could see what he's talking about. I don't know why, but I sat for 3 minutes watching the star twirl. Then I ventured into the fantastic little piece called classified info. Trust me, this thing tops all. No more searching through boxes and boxes of old issues for codes. So of course I subscribed right away to get all the codes. I can't be happier. The only complaint I have is that the section you kind of overdid with frames, yeah, is kind of squishy and hard to see everything, but other than that, the classified info code bank is bliss. The nirvana of Nintendo gamers. Want to hook up the computer now and try and find that section. Because, yeah, frames, internet frames, that was a thing. Frames were a big deal when I started making my own websites. And when I discovered how to make frames, it was like a revelation. I did frames for everything. Okay, right here. Graphical Revolution. Says, I can't believe how much things have changed from the NES to the N64. The NES with its rigid graphics and ugly sound effects to the N64 with smooth 3D graphics and symphonic overtures. I have been a loyal subscriber and reader of Nintendo Power from Volume 1 with the Clay Mario figure holding a mushroom on the cover. Now I look at Volume 86 and there's Nintendo 64 coverage. It's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. Now over 7 years and 2 months, graphics and music have undergone such a dramatic makeover. No response to that. Letters continued. Alright, letters is my favorite section of these magazines because you really get into the heads of what people were talking about back in those days, and it really takes you back. Okay, here we go. Power Packs. I was wondering if you could run an article about NHL 96. It is the best sports game I have ever played. Try to include some codes, such for secrets. Feast your eyes on classified information in Volume 87 for some super secret teams, Ryan. Those crafty code jockeys at Electronic Arts snuck a few surprises into their smash hit Puckfest. That's NHL 96. Contest question. Can a non-subscriber still participate in a player poll? I'm going to skip that one. Grooving at E3. Remember E3? Remember when E3 was a thing, guys? I wish E3 would come back to the old days. Like, even just a few years ago during the Wii U era, E3 was spectacular. But now it's kind of crap. Anyway, I had a great opportunity to attend the recent E3 show in Los Angeles and played the Nintendo 64 system, as well as the other notable systems currently on the market, such as PlayStation and Saturn. I was very impressed with the N64. There were long lines at each of the N64 stations where guests anxiously awaited their turns to play Mario 64, Pilot Wing 64, and other titles. No doubt about it, interest was very high at the Nintendo E3 booth. What a blast to have been part of the whole experience. I also had a chance to meet and talk briefly with your online game counselors, who seem to be great folks and very personable. Although I was a guest of Philips Media, I felt like a kid in a candy store and now understand why Nintendo Power is always very excited about E3 shows. It was the opportunity of a lifetime to attend. Man, sitting and watching E3, one of those reasons I want to be in the game industry to this day. Yeah, like E3 has always been on my one of my lifelong wishes. Also touring the IGN offices in San Francisco. I was in San Francisco a few years ago. I should have taken the opportunity to do that because they were doing tours at the time. I don't know if they still do that. Oh yeah, check this out. The Nintendo 64 retail kiosk. I've seen those before. GameStop, all those game shops, Babbage's, Software, etc. They'd have the N64 kiosk with the little bubble dome inside. Yeah, you can still find these out in the wild sometimes. They go for a lot of money if you ever wanted to get one. Let's just read this one. It's all about the blast off to the future. Nintendo makes history with the North American launch of the N64. I'm so excited for the Nintendo 64. Okay, let's start reading this. Okay, it says, it's kind of hard to read with all the background. Like the text doesn't jump out very easily from the background here. Yeah, Henry, perfect. That's perfect. Thank you. That's so awesome. Sometimes it's so dorky of me to say this, but during the Christmas season, I will go on YouTube and I will search out videos of families opening their Christmas gifts on Christmas, and I'll just kind of live vicariously through those people because I don't have any kids. So it's kind of fun to watch kids open up their presents on Christmas Day. On September 29th, the most anticipated system in video game history goes on sale in stores all over the United States and Canada. Mark your calendars and hustle down to the local Nintendo dealer. If the Nintendo 64's appearance in North America is anything like its Japanese debut, you can expect one of the wildest days in retail history. In Japan, eager gamers lined up in the night before the N64 went on sale. 2 shipments totaling 500,000 systems sold out in a week. 500,000 in a week? That doesn't sound like that much in this day and age. Many of those systems went to game players who placed their orders and plunked down 25,000 yen, about 250, long before the N64 hit shelves. It's not surprising that Nintendo officials are advising retailers to prepare for an onslaught of game players eager to get their hands on the future of fun. Can't wait until September 29th to take the N64 for a spin. U.S. residents might head over to their local Toys R Us beginning the first week of September. Every stateside Toys R Us will have special N64 sections featuring at least 3 systems that you can test out. Yes! Exactly. I was just at the beginning of the stream. What's Toys R Us? Oh man, don't say that. Toys R Us will come back someday. But before, in the beginning of my stream, before anybody was on, I was saying that I went to Toys R Us a few weeks before the N64 came out. I would go there every weekend, hang out at Toys R Us, and just play the Nintendo 64. In fact, the store manager tried to kick me out because I was spending so much time there. But yeah, awesome. Throughout September, other Nintendo retailers will be setting up displays as fast as they can get them. Every Target and most Walmart stores are slated to get playable N64 displays. At least 3,000 Blockbuster video stores nationwide will be getting display systems that you can try out. I never saw one in a Blockbuster. Not a display set up. Okay, let's see, where was I? By mid-October, more than 10,000 playable N64 displays will be up and running in the United States. Still can't find a store with the N64 you can try out? Many more will be running N64 demos across the United States. About 1,800 stores will have N64 games on their Power Preview displays. At the push of a button, you'll be able to preview Mario 64, Pilotwings 64, and other hot new titles. In a brief tryout, if a brief tryout in the store leaves you thirsting for more, you can rent a system at your local Blockbuster Video store. From the launch date until November 30th, Blockbuster Video will be the only official retailer in the U.S. For $16.99, you'll get everything you need for instant fun. That's a deal. That's a deal. $16.99. You get the N64 for the weekend. That's a deal. Everything you need for instant fun, including N64 control deck. Control deck? Who calls it that? Control deck, all the accessory cables and cords, 2 controllers, instructions, and your choice of game pack. Now, what games were multiplayer back then? Like, we're talking the first couple of months of the release. There was Mario 64 single player, Pilotwings single player, as far as I can remember. I guess Wave Race. Did Wave Race come out that year? Killer Instinct Gold was multiplayer, so there's that. I believe Mortal Kombat Trilogy came out very early on. So I guess there was a couple of multiplayer titles. Your choice of game pack. Okay, so you get 1 game rental as well. Canadian game players can also look forward to a big piece of the Nintendo 64 action. In fact, they've already been enjoying the game this summer at special Nintendo pavilions in theme parks in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. By mid-September, every Toys R Us in the country will have a display with at least one playable Nintendo 64. Other outlets will join the N64 brigade, so that by launch date, more than 600 different stores across the country will have playable displays. Want to take an N64 home for a few nights beginning September 30th? Every Rogers Videotron in Quebec, about 250 outlets in all, will rent an N64 of your choice. And your choice of one game for 3 nights for $14.99. Rogers is also running a contest in which you'll have a chance to win a Nintendo 64. Ooh! If we hear about additional places you can play N64, we'll post them on our power source on America Online, keyword Nintendo, and the Nintendo website. Keyword Nintendo. We need to figure out how to get back to keyword Nintendo. Here's some specs here across along the side. So we got a CPU, 64-bit RISC processor running at 93 megahertz, 93.75 megahertz. That's the power. Feel the power, guys. Memory, 36 megabits of DRAM. That's megabits. I believe that's 4 megabytes. 4 megabytes of RAM, standard stock memory for the Nintendo 64. A coprocessor, integrated sound processor, and DP, pixel drawing processor, 64-bit, 62.5 megahertz. Oh. I never knew it had a coprocessor. Okay, so Nintendo 64 has a coprocessor, everyone. The resolution, maximum 640 by 480. Maximum resolution, flicker-free interlace mode supported. Color, it says color. Red, green, blue, and alpha, color and transparency. Oh, this is the colors it can display on the screen. 32-bit RGBA on-screen color support, 21-bit color video output. Graphics, Z buffering, anti-aliasing, realistic texture mapping, trilinear mint mapping, interpolation, perspective correction, and reflection mapping. Sounds advanced. Sounds very advanced. Alright, gearing up. The North American version of the N64 will come with a control deck, AC adapter, one controller. In order to keep the price down, Nintendo decided to leave out the AV cables that connects the console to the TV set? Is that right? I don't think that's right. I think they came with it. Huh. This shouldn't be a problem for Super Nintendo owners who are expected to be the majority of N64 buyers. They can simply use their AV cables to hook up their N64. In case you don't have a Super NES, Nintendo dealers will stock AV cables. Does anybody remember whether or not the N64 had video cables packed in? Because I'm pretty sure it did. Maybe it was a last minute change. Mission control, separate controllers will also be available at launch. Even though most of the first multiplayer games won't ship until later, you'll have a choice of 6 Play It Loud colors, Play It Loud, including I miss colored accessories. I guess they're still doing it. Play It Loud colors including red, yellow, blue, green, charcoal, and light gray. The manufacturer's suggested retail price for these polychromatic beauties are $29.95. I distinctly remember them being more than that. I think they were $49.95 or $39. I'm pretty sure they were more than $29. The controller pack should appear in store shelves later in the fall. Slotting into the bottom of your N64 controller, this add-on device will store personal gameplay info such as your name and save point. Take it along to a friend's house and you'll be able to pick up a game wherever you left off. Yeah. Technical stuff right here. Technical stuff. The hardware wizards at Nintendo and Silicon Graphics really pushed the envelope with the N64. The result, a fast, powerful system that offers game developers plenty of room to grow. You get the world's greatest gaming experience. Now you're assured of getting amazing new games far into the future. What a deal! Here's a quick guide of some of the technical feats behind the groundbreaking system. Note that most of these capabilities are hardwired into the N64, which means they're built right into the hardware. You can achieve some of those same effects in other video game systems that will remain nameless. It doesn't actually say that. But often they've been slapped on with software that can slow down the system. Sorry, this is hard to read with all these texture backgrounds behind the text. Expect the future generations of N64 games to far outperform games for other systems. Heck yeah. But does the PlayStation have anti-aliasing? No. Does it have alpha blending? No. Does it have a CPU? Oh, I guess it has one of those. Does it have level of detail management? No, I guess not. Does it have microcode? Well, I don't know. What is that? Custom CPU controlled instruction optimized for audio, lighting, graphics, detail, and other ultra-realistic effects. I suppose the PlayStation might have microcode. Reality coprocessor. Oh no, PlayStation doesn't have that. Texture mapping. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the PlayStation can do texture mapping. Trilinear bitmap interpolation. That's a mouthful. PlayStation doesn't do that. Unified memory architecture. N64 has lots of fast memory you'll be able to add to it too. Oh, they knew that? Huh, they knew that so much ahead of time. Wavetable synthesis. Yeah, the synthesizer on the N64 is pretty good. And Z-buffering. Z-buffering keeps stuff in the right place even if you're moving quickly. Objects maintain their true spatial relationships, with the PlayStation had a really hard time doing. That's why everything wiggled on the PlayStation. You know, everything was always shaky on the PlayStation. They have some kind of blueprint or something of the N64 here. It's probably a fake blueprint. Silicon graphics helped develop the heart and soul of the N64. CGI also provided the workstations used to design the oh-so-cool Casa Poppin... What? Oh, I totally read that wrong. The CGI also provided the workstations used to design the oh-so-cool case. I guess they're talking about the shell of the N64. Pop in a game pack, though, and you'll instantly forget all the tech specs. You'll never experience anything like the thrill of playing with the world's greatest fun machine. And now we move into the world's greatest game. At least in this, by this time. At this time, this was the world's greatest game. Mario 64. Let's just bask in the glory of the CGI artwork here. Oh, okay. Toss away your preconceptions about fun. The first truly interactive 3D video game is here. For the first time ever, you can change your view of the action. No, I don't know if that's the first time ever that you could do that. Maybe in a Mario game. This unprecedented freedom is a vital part of the gameplay experience. Throughout Super Mario 64, you'll find yourself pausing to check out the best way to proceed. To get the lay of the land, and you'll use the yellow C buttons to change position of the camera held by the Lakitu brothers. Brothers? There's only one of them, though. You can also press R to zoom in from Lakitu to Mario's point of view. When you're ready to enter the treacherous world where Bowser's fierce minions will stop at nothing to keep you from retrieving the castle power stars. To get there, you'll have to leap through paintings in the castle. Talk about weird art. We got some screenshots. He talks about the different moves Mario can do. Slide attack, ground pound, swim, walk and kick. All these different moves was quite a thing back in '96. Like the different thing, Mario had something like 30 different actions you can make him perform. And that was unheard of at the time. So now we're looking at, this basically turns into a strategy guide from this point. Tells you where the doors lead. It's got these cool, like, bird's eye view of the maps, which you hardly ever see. You don't get to see these kind of views normally. See the, yeah, these bird's eye maps. You get to find out where all the red coins are. You can see where a number of the stars are located. 2 stars at the top of the mountain. A star on the floating island. A couple over here. There's another map. How many levels are they going to cover here? Ooh, well, not that many. Only the first... It's like the first 2 worlds are covered here. And then we jump into Pilot Wings 64. Pilot Wings was so cool. There's a lot of freedom. You get to fly around. Bird suit. What was that called? Bird suit, right? Oh, Birdman, right here. They even show it. Birdman. It says, score a gold medal in every round of any of the 3 extra games and you'll be able to fly around as Birdman. Use your wings. You can fly around each of the islands and explore all you want. There's no fuel gauge to worry about, so the sky's the limit. You know what? I really want... I'm going to stream Pilot Wings and we're going to earn the Birdman suit. Because that is something I want. I want a Birdman suit. That was so much fun. Flying around the United States. They have a whole map of the United States. We got some maps and some strategies for the different events. More of the cool CGI art. Look at these. They should make an N64, or they should make a modern game with N64 render art. They're kind of doing that with the render project for Mario 64, the PC port, that they backwards engineered it, or they figured out the source code or something. And they're trying to replicate the look of the CGI renders in the game. Cruising USA, I've got this one. I want to get the trilogy. I have the first one. I need to get the second too. Maybe I'll order those on AliExpress. Grab both of them at once. Turok! So here's some early screenshots of Turok. Look at this. Apparently it appears to be the title screen for Turok, which does not appear in the game anymore. That one. Come on. I can't get it on the camera. There we go. Yeah, so that appears to be a beta start screen. Title screen with his mean face. Lots of what appear to be beta screenshots here. Like this screenshot with the controller, I don't recall that being in the game. And we got some Killer Instinct 2 stuff. Looks like these are the codes. Oh, look at these Mortal Kombat codes. Ooh. Oh, Doom? Wait a sec. I have this game. This trick is only discovered... This is the only trick we've discovered in Doom so far. Get the chainsaw in the nuclear plant, then fire off all the ammo for your best weapon. If you hold the fire button as it empties, your gun will upgrade to the next weapon? Huh? Strange. Oh, Realm. See, this is... I was wondering what they were talking about. They kept mentioning Realm in the... on the cover of the magazine, also in the table of contents, and I am not familiar with this game, Realm. Anybody play this one? I've never played this. I don't even recognize it. No idea. Must have been so late in the Super Nintendo's life that I just completely ignored it, if it ever came out at all, because I don't know if it ever... I don't even know if it did. There's a lot of coverage for it, though. Some full maps. Kirby Superstar! This is one of the last games I remember renting for the Nintendo 64, and I, in fact, have this game, but I have the Japanese Famicom version of this game. But yeah, really fun game on the Super Nintendo, really good. Oh, we got our poster. Turok the Dinosaur Hunter poster. I had this when I was a kid, a young teen. I had this hanging up on my wall. SimCity was a early release, so I don't know why they're talking about it in such an old issue. But okay. Why are they talking about SimCity? SimCity for the SNES first appeared in 1991. That's 5 years before the printing of this magazine. The popularity of the game came as no surprise to Nintendo because previous computer versions of SimCity for Maxis were widely heralded as some of the best games ever. This month, Nintendo relaunches SimCity as part of the classic Player's Choice series. Ah, that explains it. Okay, so yeah, SimCity became a Player's Choice game. That's why it's being covered again in the 1996 issue of Nintendo Power. Good for you, SimCity. War 3010. Welcome. The world welcomed the aliens with open arms, but the gesture of friendship was soon rewarded with slavery and suffering. Now, in advanced productions, one-player strategy game for Super NES, you must defeat the planet captors in a final bid for freedom. So, a strategy game. All right, I've never played this. Strategy. So we got some strategies for Secret of Evermore. That's cool. Is this preview coverage of Donkey Kong? Oh, it is preview. It says preview right there. I wonder if I have a magazine that has Chrono Trigger coverage in it. I might have one. I'll have to go through my late or my mid-90s magazines. I don't have very many from that era. I have very few that are really still covering Super Nintendo. Could be the only one, actually. I'll have to see. Anyway, Prince of Persia 2. I never played Prince of Persia 2. Barely played the first one. Here's that Maui Mallard game. The character looks like Donald Duck. It's a Disney game, but it's not Donald as far as I know. He's drawn very much like Donald Duck. Counselor Corner. Mega Man X3. How do I use the robot ride platforms? So this is like strategies. Mario RPG. How do I defeat Belladome? How do I break down a door? Wario Land. I love Wario Land. It's one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time. Wario Land. I love it. Donkey Kong Land 2, which is a very good Game Boy game. Like, if it weren't black and white, it plays as good as the Super Nintendo game. You know, the graphics are Game Boy, but the gameplay is super powered. But yeah, Donkey Kong Land, Donkey Kong Land 2 is much better than the first Donkey Kong Land. Pinocchio! Anybody watch the new Pinocchio on Disney Plus? It's getting a beat down by reviewers, but I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. So I don't know what their problem is. What's the arena? Only the strong survive the arena. Kirby Superstar. How fast? Oh, it's like little challenges. How fast can you chow down and run through the 3 mazes in Grand Prix mode of the gourmet race? Racing against King Day is a walk in the park when you're up against the top gamers in North America. Somebody out there is going to break the 2-minute barrier. Could it be you? Practice until you're satisfied with your time and then take a picture of the win screen at the end of the race. The fastest 10 times will nominate the battle zone and pick up 4 superpower Okay. I guess these are like little challenges they put in the magazine. Now playing. So what is this? Are these just new releases? I guess these are new releases. September 1996. So we got Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2 for the Game Boy, Donkey Kong Land 2 for the Game Boy, Mega Man for the Game Boy, Really? Mega Man came out in 96 for the Game Boy? That's really late. I think that'd be one of the first games to come out on the Game Boy. Pilotwing 64 says, just as Super Mario 64 sets new standard for action games, Pilotwing 64 will set a new standard for action simulations. Virtual pilots soar into the skies via gyrocopter, rocket belt, hang glider, cannon, or even under their own winged power. The 3D world includes a not-so-miniature United States, right, the United States. Several islands. You'll also find plenty of bonus games like Cannon Shot, in which you are fired from the muzzle of a cannon. Paradigm simulators. Simulations provide 3D magic as well. Nintendo added the fun. The combination is unbelievable this month. Power takes you to flight school. Cool. Realm. What does this say about Realm? I'm really curious. It says, if you love unforgivable platformers or shooter action, I don't, then this European import from Titus, maybe that's why. Is it a European import? This European import from Titus may just well be the ticket for you. Realm combines sharp SNES graphics with constant action. Your futuristic hero grabs power-up weapons at every opportunity, which you'll need in order to blast through the Guardians at the end of each level. Along the way, you'll face implacable enemies. Implacable? At every step. Don't despair though, because Power has all the right moves for Realm in this month's review. Very challenging. A plus. They call that a plus. Very challenging. Very challenging, yet the minus is unbalanced levels of difficulty. Okay, guys. We got SimCity, Mario 64, of course, Tetris Attack for Game Boy, which is very good, but not the Game Boy version. Super Nintendo version is what you want to play. War 20 or 3010 Pack Watch. Oh, here's some previews of games. Oh yeah. Okay. The inside source on the future games. Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. Someday soon, the name Dash Randar will stand besides that of Luke Skywalker, Prince Leia, Organa, and Han Solo. Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire for the N64 from Nintendo and LucasArts opens a new chapter in the ongoing Star Wars story. Nearly complete now, the version received at Pack Watch has everything Star Wars fans could ask for. Action, heroism, impossible odds, Imperial stormtroopers, evil plots, and a great soundtrack. The action encompasses everything from blasting TIE fighters in space to dodging the gaping maw of a desert worm on Tatooine. Mercenary turned hero Randar hooves it through much of the game, searching for generators to blow up and stormtroopers to blast. When he's not jumping surprise droids, Dash may take to the air with his jetpack or leap aboard a speeder to chase Jabba's henchmen through the twisting streets of Mos Eisley. And it all looks and sounds like a Hollywood production. Shadow is a true feast, and play control is just delicious as the sound and graphics. You move Dash from walk to sprint using the control stick. If you hold the Z trigger, you can use the control stick to aim your blaster up and down. 3 camera views include behind the shoulder, in the head, and out in front, each making for an entirely different experience. Yeah, Shadows of the Empire, great game. I tried to stream it once, but I got a muted stream for having Star Wars music in my stream. They don't like that. But you know, I might stream it again and just not worry about the VOD being muted, because I probably shouldn't care. Anyway, they got Tetrasphere, they got Kirby's Air Ride, which actually got canceled. That never came out on the N64. They got Wave Race up here. Some more Wave Race. Oop. Oh god, don't tear my magazine, please. Oh god. I think it's okay, guys. I think it's okay. I heard a little ripping sound, though. Oh man, I gotta be careful. Mario Kart with a black power, no power-ups. Got some Star Fox screenshots here. Madden 97 for the Super Nintendo, Super Star Wars for the Super Nintendo, some arcade games, including Joust, which I really like. What is this? Insider update? I don't know what this is. Mario Paint. 1996 holiday season is shaping up to be one of the richest ever for Super Nintendo fans thanks to a wide selection of players' choice games. The latest to make the list of all-time great classics, Mario Paint, which was first released in '92. Mario Paint, as the name suggests, isn't a game at all, but rather a creativity program that allows you to create still or animated art. You can also compose simple songs using the music editor. In one of the most popular contests on Nintendo Power, thousands of Mario Paint artists sent us animated videos of their work. Mario Paint comes with the Super Nintendo mouse. I need to grab a copy of that Mario Paint. I see it all the time. The cartridge is loose and it's cheap, and then you gotta get the mouse for it. Game Boy Pocket. I asked for one for Christmas one year, but I didn't get it. And we got some ooh! Look at this. Yum, cereal. I think I have got some cornflakes here. Yeah, which one is your favorite? Out of these, I'm gonna go with Frosted Mini Wheats. But Rice Krispie Treat cereal is also pretty good. So there's another magazine here I need to get because I remember having it. This one, where Mario is sliding. I wonder which one that is. I gotta be on the lookout for that guy. And that's it. That's the end, guys. Thanks for joining me for reading Nintendo Power Magazine. That was a lot of fun.